Ever since Israel and United States launched their offensive against Iran, Tehran's ballistic missile arsenal has constantly troubled Western experts. Despite the continuous pounding of suspected IRGC facilities, storage sites and launchers, it is still impossible to evaluate the overall degradation of Iran's ballistic missile arsenal. Touted as one of the major military objectives from the very first day of the war, degrading Iran's ballistic missile capability is crucial to the multi-pronged strategy of the US and Israel. It is key to releasing the Iranian chokehold on the Hormuz Strait or stopping Iranian retaliation against the Gulf countries. Estimates of the exact number of Iranian ballistic missiles can decide the fate of the battle. The Gulf states have publicized that Iran has fired around 1,300 missiles at them collectively, while Israel knows that Iran has fired over 500 missiles at it. In fact, the IDF has assessed that Iran now has fewer than 700 missiles, ballistic missiles at that, which are left from the original stockpile of about 2,500. But a new report by the Jerusalem Post has cited IDF sources who suggest that no one really knows for certain. This development came after an exchange between Israel's Channel 12 and an IDF Air Force colonel who said that Iran still has more than 1,000 ballistic missiles left. This contradicts the prior IDF estimate of 700 missiles. Now, part of the question for Israel is how many of these missiles are now buried under rubble and how many can be salvaged, therefore making them only temporarily inaccessible to Iran. There's a subcategory as well between more mild rubble cave-ins and larger cave-ins. The report reads that Iran has deployed bulldozer teams to uncover caved-in missile silos within less than a day. It added that if the missiles are recovered intact from the rubble, they would still be usable and act as the backbone of Iran's long-term arsenal. The assessment also added that the number of missile launchers is a different issue altogether. In fact, according to the Jerusalem Post, the IDF has tracked the number of missile launchers at different points during the war and counted how many launchers were destroyed, buried, or were out of use for some time. The IDF said that around 70 to 80% have been put out of commission at least for some period of time. About half of these have been destroyed and the other half buried. Iran's missile launching frequency had reportedly reduced to below 20 missiles per day by day 4 of this war. In recent weeks, it has fallen even lower. However, Iran has contradicted this by suddenly increasing the firing rate after the US and Israel had claimed that 90% degradation of Iran's ballistic missile arsenal has already happened. The combined American-Israeli forces say that it has rendered many of Iran's missile launchers' combat ineffective, but it is unclear whether these launchers refer to medium-range or short-range systems or whether any of the launchers are interchangeable between medium-range and short-range systems.